Welcome to the C.S. Joseph podcast. I'm your host, C.S. Joseph, and today we have yet even more acolyte questions. In fact, I got it's always interesting towards the end of the month because people are trying to get their question in before the end of the month, and then the new month happens and they get their next question in, so it just kind of like ends up piling up. It's a little pile of questions to get through, which is totally cool by me. I'm happy for the paid support of what we're doing here for the community because it helps keep the lights on. So anyway, today's question is, what is the difference between a shadow and subconscious focused INTP? Oh, it's great to have an INTP question. It's been a while since we had one. So shadow focused and an subconscious focused INTP. So when it comes to differentiating cognitive focus between types, the first thing you want to look at is, do they have, are they more a balanced person, or do they have a double helping of what's already in their ego? Like, for example, an ESFJ-focused INTP, they're far more caring than a shadow-focused one, or unconscious-focused, ENTJ-focused INTP. They're far more caring because they're having like a double helping of extroverted feeling. And their extroverted feeling is turning from an infant to a hero within their subconscious, right? And that means they're far more caring and way more often a lot more affiliative, focused on doing the right thing, behaving more like ESFJs, for example, and they exhibit far more self-sacrifice. And they're not really going to be sacrificing other people. They're really actually going to be sacrificing themselves for the sake of others. And that's really the biggest difference between a shadow and a subconscious-focused INTP. What's a very well-known shadow-focused INTP? Well, Bill Gates is, because he's willing to sacrifice the human race. He's willing to sacrifice others, for sure, for whatever goal. The ends justify the means. That is the shadow-focused INTP, willing to sacrifice other people in order to reach the goal, whereas a subconscious-focused INTP, potentially I think maybe Elon Musk might be. I'm not entirely sure about that. I don't know. I have not consumed enough content about Elon Musk to really make the judgment. But he definitely does not seem as evil as Bill Gates, because Bill Gates is absolutely willing to sacrifice other people for his own goals, his own outcomes that he's looking for. Not entirely sure Elon Musk is willing to do that. I think Elon Musk more often is willing to sacrifice himself, actually, for the sake of others. And that's really the prime difference between a shadow versus subconscious-focused INTP. Gosh, my nose is just itching. It's funny, I saw this awesome meme about me itching or playing with my nose during these podcast episodes, and it's just this montage of me doing it like hundreds of times. It was actually pretty hilarious. You guys should do more of those memes. I'm cool with being made fun of. My favorite one, though, was that parody that one guy did. That was like the awesomest. That was pretty dope. Not gonna lie. So now, shadow-focused INTPs, however, they go in a different direction. They're willing to take charge. They're oftentimes more entrepreneurial. They are actually more prone to being leaders, whereas an ESFJ-focused INTP, they're actually more willing to be followers, right? So if an INTP is exhibiting more leadership qualities, chances are they're shadow-focused. And if they're doing like follower, being like that little puppy that's following people around kind of a thing, they're more likely to be subconscious focused as an INTP. And a lot of these things definitely matter. Now, granted, a subconscious focused INTP is way happier than a shadow focused one, but a shadow focused one is way wiser than a subconscious focused one, so that could be a thing. And also, subconscious focused INTPs don't often get laid when compared to the shadow focused INTPs, where they absolutely do. So, and that's because they're closer to their alpha traits with their ENTJ shadow instead of the beta traits that are being extracted from their ESFJ subconscious. And since alpha traits are technically more sexually attractive to women, the INTP men who are shadow focused would be having way more sex than an ESFJ focused one. So that's just how life works in today's day and age. So that's definitely a thing to be aware of. not only that, they're still triple systematic, so you still have amazing systems, and that's not really a way to differentiate the two. But again, the subconscious focused is INTP is going to be more aware, or at least trying to do the right thing, or whatever the right thing actually is. Whereas the ENTJ focused one is just not really going to care. A good example of an ESFJ-focused INTP that I know is John Brisson, the INTP who runs FixYourGut.com and is the main content creator for FixYourGut.com. He is an ESFJ-focused INTP. So you can compare John Brisson to Bill Gates. Bill Gates is shadow-focused ENTJ. John would never be willing to sacrifice other people for his goals or XYZ goals or goals of another, for example. He wouldn't. He'd be actually more willing to sacrifice himself to that point. Whereas Bill Gates, however, like I said, he'd absolutely be okay with sacrificing other people for those goals because, again, the ends justify the means. This is, again, that is the primary difference between a shadow-focused and subconscious-focused INTP right then and there. It's obvious, it's understood, it's just that's just how it is. I don't know how else to say it differently. So, all right, cool. I think that answers the question. Did I cover everything? Oh, here's another thing though. ESFJ focused INTPs, when it comes to their inferior function and dealing with the fear of being accepted, they start out being super mega afraid of being not accepted in their life, and then laterly in like midlife, it just kind of goes away. Whereas with the shadow focused INTP, it's a little bit different. They don't really actually care if anyone accepts them, and they kind of keep it that way throughout most of their life. And I guess that's one of the reasons why they're willing to sacrifice other people for XYZ goals, is because of that. Their shadow-focused ones are really, really detached from other people over time. And it takes them an entire lifetime, basically, to get to the point where they're okay to have, relationships with other human beings and actually understanding, the value in other humans, because they can end up making the same mistake that ENTJs make of, let's make the system, but then completely ignore the human beings operating that system, which is what causes ENTJs to end up looking like slave drivers. And I talk about this consistently in, like, for example, the ENTJ hypocrisy episode, as well as the ENTJ demon episode in the members area. Speaking of which, if you want to become a member, go to csjoseph.life/members and become a journeyman member, then upgrade to acolyte so you can have me make videos answering your questions, and then they'll be released on the podcast or on YouTube. Who wouldn't want that? That's csjoseph.life/members or csjoseph.life/portal. Go ahead and check it out. So anyway, folks, thanks for listening and watching today. I'll see you guys tonight.
You stole my